everyone, and welcome to Quarantine Cooking. My name is Jacob.
And my name is August.
And today we'll be diving into a classic dish, spaghetti meatballs.
Yeah, I mean, you have seen this everywhere. It's in Lady in the Tramp. It's in your kitchen. It's very easy and fun, and yeah, here we go.
Yeah, without further ado, let's just dive in.
Let's just dive right in.
Alright, so, it's fine.
Okay, well,
Welcome to our kitchen area.
welcome.
So we're just going to introduce y'all to the ingredients and kind of the materials that we'll be using for this. We'll start with August. He'll be showing you the ingredients that we'll be using for our meatballs, and then I will show us the tomato sauce and all those ingredients.
So what we're going to be starting with, and I think most importantly, is the meat. So we got this from Albertsons, and it is going to be the 80% lean ground beef and the 20% fat. And it's important that you get that kind because it helps the meatballs stick together and they just taste perfect.
The leaner it is, the better it is too. So if you get 90%, 10%, that's even a better cut. But
Yes.
I'm too poor to see it. Yeah, it's fine.
And we're working class. We're doing our best. And then we have our eggs in this little bowl here. They look like this. You want big eggs because the bigger they are, the more egg they have inside, and then it sticks together a little better. And then we have our garlic.
We're using 4 garlic cloves minced for our meatballs.
Yes. And if you don't know how to mince, I suggest learn it. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
You can mince. Watch Ratatouille a couple times. It might help out.
Yeah.
And then we have breadcrumbs. And then we have Parmesan cheese. We have our onions, our salt and pepper. Very important, we have olive oil. That's arguably one of the most important ingredients.
Yes.
And then we have tomatoes, but those are not for our meatballs. Just a little tease, a little something for you to lead into it.
Yeah, so for the tomatoes, for the tomato sauce, what we'll be using is, the base is going to be the crushed tomatoes, and it's important that you get Cento. That's my favorite brand to use for this. Other brands work well, but I find Cento to have a better taste. So you're going to have 2 1 pound cans or 12 ounces of the crushed tomatoes. You're going to use half of a 6 ounce can of tomato paste. You're going to use 2 cups of freshly chopped yellow onion, 2 cloves of garlic, and then you can also season to taste with the salt and pepper for it. With that being said, let's get started to the meatballs.
Okay, so what we're going to start off with is by washing our hands. Now I've already washed my hands because I like to say I'm a little ahead of the game. But you're going to want to wash your hands before because you're going to be sticking your hands in the meatballs and you don't want people to eat where your hands have been. So you're going to do that. So what I like to start off with is the actual meat itself. You're just going to unwrap it, be nice to it, don't throw it around. Do a little, you take it out, here she is. And then you're just going to put that right in your bowl. So what I like to start off with is our olive oil because it gets everything kind of a little bit wet and then everything's going to stick a lot better. That's just how I like to do it. So then I started off with my eggs, just a little one over here. You want to be careful not to get any shells in there. And if you are as talented as I am, you can one-handed crack it. Otherwise, I suggest using both of your hands because you don't want your meatballs to be crunchy. And then what you're going to do is put in your garlic. And some people like to just dump it. I personally like to scrape it out like a bear because what if you miss some of this delicious garlic? People are going to pick up on that. People know. You're going to combine all your ingredients. I like to save that for last and also that for last. Put the breadcrumbs in. You put your Parmesan. And your salt and pepper mix. You just get in there with your hands and you just really work in there. I've personally been told that my mixing technique is flawless, so I would just go along with this mixing technique. Just kind of want to mush it down, kind of mix it together, but not too hard. Not treat her like a lady. Be nice to it. You're gonna want to mix it nicely. I'm gonna give you an alternate take for that one. It's a girl! Alright, So now that we are done with the formation of our meatballs, we are gonna get our baking sheet with tinfoil. And now it's important to put tinfoil because you're gonna broil these. So what you're gonna wanna do is have the heat, bounce off the tinfoil, if you will. It's gonna cook it a little extra. They're gonna get a little crispy on the outside, but just like perfect on the inside. So what I like to do is actually put a little bit of olive oil on my hands. The breadcrumbs will make and the meat will make your hands stick together, so it's a lot easier to roll them into shapes. So, how's everybody's day going? Pretty good?
It's been really weird with quarantine.
Oh yeah.
My whole life is just
turns upside down.
Gone.
Yeah. But here we are making meatballs.
Here we are because we have nothing better to do.
Nothing better to do. And I also just wanted to add that I'm Italian, and Jacob didn't even ask me for my meatball recipe. No. He found Grandma's meatballs. And I don't know who Grandma is, but
it's her meatballs.
It better be good. We're gonna try to make Grandma proud. And then what you're gonna do is obviously just place them on the baking sheet. They don't really expand outwards. They usually just kind of puff up a little bit, so you're more than welcome to put them right next to each other. Not really touching on the top, but they can be pretty close. All right, so your meatballs are safely on their baking sheet, so you're gonna just take them over to the oven. And so as you can see, we have our oven here. You're gonna put it on high broil, and that's where you choose how to broil it, on high. And you're gonna open it up and put it in the middle rack. So our oven, the top rack is closer to the middle than the bottom, so I'm just gonna put it on the top one. But you're technically supposed to put them in the middle, so you're gonna wanna place them in. And I like to push them back all the way back so they're all under a light. And then you're gonna shut this bad boy, go up here to your timer, set for about 10 minutes. And then you're gonna let it sit for 10 minutes, broil a little, and then you're gonna flip them for an additional 2 to 3 minutes.
Now that we've introduced all the ingredients, your first step for making the tomato sauce is taking your 1/4 cup of olive oil and your sauteed onions, and you're gonna put it in your sauce bowl, and you're going to saute that with the garlic for about 3 minutes. So let's go ahead and start moving all the ingredients into the saucepan. So you're gonna take your onions right here, you're gonna dump that in, get all that in there, and then you're gonna take your garlic, put that in there as well. And also make sure that your garlic and your onions are finely chopped as well. Minced if you can, but do your best. And then we're gonna take our 1/4 cup of olive oil and put that in here as well. Awesome. So you're gonna put that on medium to high heat for a little bit, and once it starts to heat up, you'll start mixing it around and trying to get it all translucent. Alright, so this looks pretty good right now. So the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to get our crushed tomatoes, and we're gonna put that in here. So let's go over there. Alright, so now we have our crushed tomatoes. So just take them and open it up. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take half of your 6-ounce tomato paste and you're going to stir your saucepan.
That's better than me.
So now you're going to take your pan with your sauteed onions in. You're going to take half of your 6-ounce can of your tomato paste. Now the big thing with your tomato paste is if you want more of a lighter mixture, you're going to put less tomato paste. Your tomato paste will actually thicken your sauce that you want. So basically, the more tomato paste you have, the thicker your sauce will be. So now that we have this, we can just stir it into the mixture here. I've been mixing the tomato sauce with the rest of the mixture for a amount of time now. So now it's well incorporated like this. It's going to be kind of clumpy, but that's normal. It's a very thick paste. Okay, we're going to go over here. We're going to take our crushed tomatoes that we have, and we're going to pour this into the rest of the mixture. Are you ready? And so once you've added all of the crushed tomatoes to your mixture, you're going to let it simmer for 30 minutes. So you can leave it on medium-high heat for 30 minutes and making sure that there's bubbles popping up in your mixture.
Yes, and the green part in the mixture is just a little bit of this Italian flavoring. You're more than welcome to add whatever else you think would be good in your sauce. We were following a pretty basic recipe. but we wanted to add a little bit.
You can also add in just some regular salt as well. Kosher or sea salt will work just fine. I'm just going to add a little bit of sea salt to taste. And just mix it in with the rest of the mixture and set your timer for 30 minutes.
Yay!
Now that we're done with the sauce, we're going to add the meatballs that we made earlier. So we're going to add that into the sauce, and we're going to let that sauce simmer for about 1.5 hours, checking every 20 minutes. And make sure that you use a little lid, and you're going to cover the pan as so. You're going to have it tilted, but it's just going to keep in the heat a little bit more. So we're going to pan over to August, and he's going to put the meatballs in the sauce for us.
We are going to add the meatballs into the sauce. It's pretty easy. I want to just drop them in, and as you're dropping them, you can just look and see they have a nice little char on the outside. It's gonna be crispy, and then on the inside, they're just so good. And then if you don't want to put a bunch of meatballs in, so like we've made a lot, you can always save them and make a nice meatball sub with all the leftover ingredients you have from your spaghetti. And then what you're gonna do is take a lid that is a little bit smaller than the actual pan. You're gonna put it at a little tilt like this, and you can let it simmer for about 1.5 hours. And you can check it every 20 minutes, stir it around a little bit, make sure it's not sticking to the bottom of the pan.
Alright, so once you get about 30 minutes left of simmering your sauce with your meatballs inside of it, you can go ahead and start heating up your water for your pasta. Now you can make pasta by hand, but for us, just to save a little bit of time, we bought it. So you can go anywhere, go to like Target, whatever, and just get the regular spaghetti, traditional spaghetti noodles, and it can be of any kind. So you can take your package, and you're just gonna you're gonna boil your water until once it gets boiling, then you can pour your noodles in it. So now I'm just gonna put the noodles in, and just slide them into the pot, like ever so slightly. So you're gonna put these noodles in here, and then you're gonna let it cook from about 7 to 10 minutes, or until it's al dente, or however you like it. Okay, so after your noodles are done boiling, you're gonna take them and you're gonna strain them. So take your noodles, bring them over here, and you're just gonna strain them using a regular strainer. And dry them. Just get all the moisture out. Pour it all back into the original. Once they're all strained, you can bring it back over to where it was originally at. And then once your noodles are done, you can combine the mixtures and keep them separate.
Right. Well, thank you so much for following along with our quarantine cooking. We really hope you enjoyed our video and the spaghetti and meatballs that maybe you made with us.
My name's Jacob.
And my name's August.
And have a great day.